Hello and welcome to episode 15 of the Inner Miami Show. I'm Branton, and with me as always is Mike Cinco Cero Longan. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. I mean, how can we not be good, right? Like 5-0 win. We're coming into really what's one of the most important games we've ever played as a club on a high note. So
Yeah.
I think we're good. I think we're great. I think we got a lot to discuss tonight. Like I don't know how we're gonna stay inside an hour. For those, I know we're kind of got a couple people kind of jumping on, but for those watching us live, appreciate it. I know there's 3 Inner Miami shows broadcasting live right now.
There's three?
There's 3, yeah. Miami Total Football Radio is going at
Oh,
9:15. So everyone decided
well,
good night. So for those who decide to listen live,
all
I
right.
super appreciate it.
It's
We
gonna
are the
happen all
best.
season. It's
Yeah,
gonna
no, we're the
happen all
best, and
season.
we love everyone that does it. But yeah, let's
Yeah.
jump in. We got a lot to talk about tonight. Like it's a lot's going on, a
Cool.
lot's going on, and I think we're each gonna rant. Like I'm excited.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you're gonna rant about, but we'll see. We have not talked about your rant. My rant is very predictable. But first up, biggest news of the week, arguably, DeAndre Yedlin traded to Cincinnati. Yeah, Mike, you want to take it away? I know you. This is probably what you're gonna rant about.
Yeah, and maybe it's not a rant, but I've done a lot of research on this. I posted out. We jumped into this early, so I know a couple people wanted to hear what it said. But I think first off, let's start with I am a Yedlin stan. I love Yedlin. I've got his jersey in the house. I have his jersey in the place of honor. I think since he joined the team in 2022, he's been such an important influence on this team. I also think this move is great. I have nothing bad to say about the move. I'm going to break it down for everybody. We're going to pull out some math. We're going to pull out some analytics. I
Oh,
think this is a great trade. I think it's in everyone's interest. I do not see some people say we got fleeced, we got screwed. I don't see it. I think it's in. So let's break it out. So let us start with the trade. So it's very simple. DeAndre Yedlin's going to Cincinnati, and we get what's being called the most random amount of GAM ever. $172,799. We went down to the dollar on this one in GAM. Now, this is all GAM for this year. Someone pointed out, typically Hendo likes to kind of spread the GAM out. It's all in this year. So I think that's important. So let's talk first about the tactical impacts of this. So I don't think this changes anything because Redondo is starting on Thursday, as everyone believes it, which meant that if he goes in the midfield, you can't have 4 midfielders in a 4-3-3. So if he's starting out with Busquets,
wow.
Gomez,
What tactical breakdown? You
I
can't
know,
have
right?
four midfielders in a 4-3-3.
Can't afford in 3-4-3. So if you already have
The Inter Miami show,
Busquets,
folks.
Gomez, and Gressel, if Redondo starts, one of them has to move. Natural one to move is Gressel. Now Gressel is a natural right back that we just picked up. I think we've all assumed that he would be the long-term starter in this spot. So, but Yedlin was moving to the bench, whether we liked it or not. And now we had a guy
Um,
making.
I think you're wrong.
Right, I
I
know I'm
don't
right
think
because we just traded
Gressel.
him.
I don't think Gressel's going to right back, man.
I
As
do.
much as you think so, I don't.
Well, let me explain why.
Well,
So
okay.
Yedlin was making $873,750 last year. It's a very expensive right back, and one of the most expensive in the league. Behind Yedlin and Gressel, we've got Frey and Boatwright. Frey can't start yet, but he's close. And we're probably not starting Izzy Boatwright with this current lineup in our best 11. So Gressel's the natural guy that's moving to right back. Right? Like this seems preordained.
I think
It was
there's
in
a
the
wild
stars.
card.
Throw in your wild card. You think
Negri.
is your wild card another move?
No. I
Who?
think Negri is back in training. I believe he trained with the first team today. So I would not be surprised to see him move to right back. I think Tata has been very vocal that he is not putting Gressel at right back. Gressel wants to play midfield.
But there's no spot for him.
There is.
There's not.
There
You're going to
is.
bench Gomez?
Gomez is going to move up. Robbie Taylor and Gomez are going to flop, and one of them is going to slide over to cover for Messi.
All right.
And then
So this proves the point. We have someone to play it right back. We did not need an $873,750 right back sitting on our squad. Now, knowing this and knowing that we have future plans, let me explain how we got Yedlin so everyone's aware.
Oh God.
So, yeah, no, I did a lot of research.
I thought this was just for your informational purpose. I didn't know you were going to read this.
No, I'm going into it. Yeah, no, you had a chance. I texted you this. You had a chance to stop it up front, and you did not.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
For those who don't know, MLS is the stupidest league in the world. So it's a single entity league. Yeah, you agree with that statement, I know. It's a single entity league. When you sign a contract you don't actually sign a contract with Inter Miami, you sign it with MLS, and then you go to Inter Miami. And so because of these weird rules, there's something called allocation order. So in 2022,
doesn't exist anymore, by the way.
Well, it did. I'm explaining it.
Everyone should,
because I want everyone to understand that how cheap Yedlin was.
About this.
People have been saying I've read 15 messages about why this was so stupid. So I'm going to shorten it, but there was this thing called allocation order. We bought when Yedlin was coming over. Yedlin was in the allocation order. Man, you've totally taken me off my role, and this hurts my feelings, Branton. And when you start ranting on USAC, I just want you to know there's going to be repercussions. But I'm going to finish this because I can. I do. So the allocation order was for select U.S. men's national team players and players transferred outside of MLS, which Yedlin qualified for. So when Yedlin was out in Turkey and wanted to come back, as an allocation order player, you had to have the top spot in allocation order to get him. So we were ninth at the time. At first was Charlotte. We sent Christian McCoon to Charlotte and got that spot. So that's how we got Yedlin. It was a free transfer. We had to send Christian McCoon over there. Now, for those who don't remember Christian McCoon, he's an OG Inter Miami guy. He goes to Charlotte. Charlotte eventually sells him to New England for $400,000 spread over 2 years. Now we had a two-time sell-on clause, so we got 15% of that deal, and then we're gonna get 15% of his future deal. So we're gonna make over $100,000 on McCoon regardless. But we didn't pay anything for Yedlin. Fast forward to today, we just got $172,799 for a player that, frankly, nobody wanted the first time around. Like, no one else was fighting us for that spot. Everyone knows, like, we need to sell. I think this is the best deal we're getting. We have now opened up $873,000 in cap space and another $172,000. So essentially, we have $1 million to spend forward. And the last kind of piece I will say here is the weird number, because I have a theory on this. I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat. I think this deal was created pre-season start for $200,000. And then Farias goes down. Our boy Hendo calls up whoever is the guy at Cincy, goes, listen, I need him for 3 more weeks. What's the rental price on a Yedlin? The guy goes, I don't fucking know. $9,000. And so we've been paying, basically the price has been dropping $9,000 a week until we were ready, like for Redondo to come in. We were ready for the rest of the moves, which is kind of how the math works. And next thing you know, we end up with this stupid price of $172,799. So I think it's a good move. Financially, I think it works. I do think Gressel will start at right back. I think we all know Thursday, one of us will be right. It's either going to be Gressel or Negri. I don't think it's going to be Negri. Throw in one last thing, because you, again, totally threw me off my thing. 2 ways we are talking about spending this money that people are talking on our behalf. Franco Escobar, the right back from Houston, has been
in the he's a left back.
That was a right back.
No, anyway, he's a right-footed left back.
We've been in talks with him. He's making $524 guaranteed. Seems like an expensive back, especially when we are already talking moving our places. I think, and kind of where the common conversation now going is, this is summer transfer money. This is the money to spend on somebody. There's a lot of names being floated around right now. Sergio Roberto, Modric, other guys. This is that money. Like, we're going to look back in August and go, oh, we lost Yedlin, but we got X. And the actual cost was a guy named Christian McCoon who's no longer playing in MLS. This was a huge win for Inter Miami, and I'm okay with this move. Again, I don't like losing Yedlin, But if you're telling me we lost, we basically 2 years ago we lost Chris McCoon, but we got one of these guys, it's a win. It's a big win, and I'm good with it. So I'll stop ranting. You can now disagree with me. I can now look at all the comments people have made disagreeing with me as well.
You know, it's informative. You know, I don't think that you move right back like Yedlin, who is probably better defensively than Gressel, to have Gressel start at right back, and then you have Alba and Gressel both trying to push forward in the attack. I just don't see it. I just it doesn't balance the team and it doesn't work, in my
So
opinion.
that's basically, I don't know who wrote the takeaways from week 3. I'm kind of looking it up real quick at saying it,
I think
but
it was Matt Doyle made that point.
that was exactly Matt Doyle's point. I don't think he's ever watched Inter Miami play because Yedlin takes field
I
trips
think
into
you're
the forward
definitely
18.
wrong about that. He
Like,
does, but
all
Gressel
the
lives
time.
in the attack. Gressel lives in the attack.
Yeah, but as right back, I think he's got to stay back.
I don't think he's gonna play right back, man. I don't.
I do.
I maybe for a game, but I don't think he's the permanent right back solution. Tata has been so yeah, Joe, I do agree with that. That was gonna be my next point. You're gonna take a guy who's finally settled in the midfield and had the game that we've all been waiting for, which live and in person from my vantage point, it did not look like a great game. But when you watch, I rewatched the game and he played fantastic. He was all over the place. He was exactly what you want him to be. So he's finally settled in midfield. Looks like a midfielder and is proving me wrong if he continues performances like this. And we're going to move him to right back,
But
where
he
he's going to be asked to
specializes on
pick
the
up more.
cross.
Right, but it's a different cross, man. Yedlin specializes in that high cross, which is more suited to a right back, where Gressel is that low cross across the box that just hits Suarez right in the sweet spot,
Yeah,
man.
but that cross was from the exact position Yedlin would be in, which was just outside or just inside the
But you
18.
can't have Gressel and Alba both up there like that. And
But
Alba was
remember,
up on the other
we're going to be
side.
running a suit.
You
It's not going to
can't.
be a 3-5-2, but Redondo is going to be hanging back and giving support to the defenders. It's going to let Gressel make these field trips north.
I don't think so.
I absolutely think so.
And I don't think Tata's thinking like that, man.
Well, you are
Listen,
the Tata
you are
whisperer.
not
You
in
called
Tata's
this.
head.
No,
I
you are
know
in
what he's
Tata's head. I
thinking,
get.
and I hate to say it, but Gressel is probably one of our 3 best midfielders if he plays like he played against Orlando.
But then who are you sitting? Because Gomez is playing very well in the midfield. Because you're now saying you're going to play Gomez over Robbie Taylor, who has scored 2 over 3 games.
But
you're going to bench.
You see, this is the thing, though. So if you're like 1A off the bench, which would be either Gomez or Robbie Taylor, those guys are going to get a lot of playing time. They're either going to play left wing, they're going to play right wing where Messi is, because they're not going to play every game. So I don't think it's so much as who are we replacing. I think it's there's depth there. And then I also think that if you go with a younger guy at the right back position, you can afford to have somebody that's going to sit back and defend. You're not going to be asking a young guy to go up in the attack and push the ball forward too much.
Who's the young guy in right back?
If you go the Izzy route, Negri, we
Negri's
haven't gotten
29. Like
confirmation.
Negri's
Right,
not
but we
that young
haven't
a
gotten
guy.
confirmation that Negri's ready to go for Thursday.
But I don't
We've
think
seen him
Izzy's
in
ready to go
training.
yet either. You're not starting Izzy, and if we're taking CCC seriously, you're not starting Izzy at right back either. He's had a couple starts, but
Listen, Tata has been very adamant that Gressel is a midfielder. And I don't think you can be that adamant. And then as soon as Yedlin's gone, and as soon as Gressel has the game we've all been waiting for, you move him to right back. I don't see it.
That feels exactly like what Tata would do.
It doesn't.
Everything's going great. Let's change it up.
Tata does the same tactic just to be consistently bad. But
all right. But can we agree we have a solution in right back? Yedlin was able to move. We got it up. We got money for him, more money for him than we spent out.
Yeah, we can agree
It's a
on that.
win.
Yeah, it's
It's a
facts.
win. It's a
I
winning
think
deal.
it's a winning move. It
Yeah.
is, but I am surprised that there wasn't a corresponding move announced right
I think
after.
it's but again, if we're all
I
unless we could get a winger, which I still think we need. I know you and I
You don't
slightly
need a
disagree on
winger.
this.
You got Gomez. You don't need a winger.
Then you don't need anyone right now. So hold off to the summer transfer. Again, we have $1 million right now. So here's the funny thing. Everyone doesn't understand how Inter
You
Miami
don't
has any
really have
money,
a
and
million
we've got a million.
dollars though. Like let's be honest here. You don't really have $1 million to spend. Because when you say that, people are thinking, "Oh, you can go out and transfer." This money has to be spent
It's
on like a free agent
yeah,
because a
but there's gonna be a
transfer
whole
fee for
bunch of
anybody good is going to be ridiculous.
but there's a whole bunch of people in the summer who are going to be free buys, free
Yeah.
transfers. Like we know
Yeah.
that's coming.
Kevin De Bruyne. He's coming.
I think he'd be a DP, which we actually have
We
technically a
could
DP
buy
space.
somebody down and have a
Right.
DP with the
So
money.
the money is there for another.
It's
Like this is the
possible, but
scary thing.
I also think that there's room to buy like a serviceable MLS right back. I think
I
there's money
think
there
you're
for
right,
that,
but I don't
and
think
I'm
we
a
need
little
it.
surprised that didn't happen.
I don't think we need it. To be fair, give Tata credit. He's never shown a problem playing the young guys when he needs to, especially in depth
Right.
rotation. And you have at least two guys with experience who can play that position.
Well, Gressel and what is he?
Negri. I'm
I
agreeing
don't
with
know.
you.
I'm
You're the
thinking
one who threw
Negri
that out there.
plays right back. That's my thought because we've heard no transfer rumors about him. He's talented as hell. And he was really good for us when he was healthy. So I don't see
Ian
why we
Frey
couldn't throw him on right
and
back.
Frey's we're hearing 30 days out, give or take, is what the rumors I heard.
For me, Frey would be backup for Redondo. That's my thought as a CDM.
But you have people that are service. So again, there's people go. So we're already we're 17 minutes in. I gotta let you rant on USOC for 10 minutes.
Well,
so you want to jump into USOC?
We haven't officially announced Harvey Neville's gone. Maybe he's coming back.
The contract.
We haven't announced it. Too. His contract is still active. Can you imagine? Bill, you can't have your son. We're going to start him at right back, and he's going to flourish, and you're going to look like a joke.
Can you imagine the supporters group if Harvey Neville?
They would be all behind it. They'd be 100% behind it because Tata made the decision. It's not nepotism now.
I'm trying to see if Harvey Neville is on our official website and has the New Jersey on. I don't think he is.
I don't think so.
No, he's not.
No. Oh, anyway, moving on to USOC. Thanks to the Orlando City win, I am a little bit more tempered here, but anybody who knows me knows how much the U.S. Open Cup means. I posted a short the day that the news dropped that MLS will only be entering 8 teams, and it's basically the worst 8 teams in the league. And to me, this is a complete slap in the face to the U.S. Open Cup, to U.S. soccer in general. So I mean, I guess I could read it. I was livid at this decision, as many of you will know. Also, shout out Olive in York, who makes this awesome jersey, makes jerseys for other groups. They have a perfect U.S. Open Cup t-shirt that I ordered today. As soon as I get it, I will be wearing it on the show. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like the U.S. Open Cup matters, and it does. So yeah, I wrote down some of my thoughts here, so I'll read some of them to you, and then we can move on. But it is important for me to say this. Yes, U.S. Open Cup matters, and I don't care what anybody says. Everybody knows I got in a very public disagreement with Danny on Battered Herons. You invited me on to talk about this. Joe, you can get it in black. He's got it in black. And if we show enough interest in a pink, I bet you he does a pink. So there you go. So anyway, U.S. Open Cup is not just another soccer tournament. It's to me and to a lot of supporters around the world or around the U.S. It's a pulsating heartbeat. It's a testament to the essence of American soccer. This sports landscape dominated by major leagues and global competitions, the Open Cup stands tall as a symbol of grassroots passion and the spirit of the beautiful game in this country. To me, the Open Cup is an equalizer. It brings amateur dreamers and professional giants onto the same pitch. Um, it levels the playing field like no other competition in this country when it comes to soccer. You get to see local heroes, seasoned veterans, and every team has a shot at glory. In a nation as diverse as ours, the Open Cup becomes a canvas for where stories of underdogs defying the odds paint the portrait of the American spirit. It's a breeding ground for soccer soul in this country. Small local communities where MLS teams could never exist. Um, U.S. Open Cup is a big part of why teams like the Vermont Green, like Birmingham Union or Legion, um, Omaha, like small towns that can't support an MLS team, have a USL team, largely because they the Open Cup funds some of that. US Soccer subsidizes some of that with these tournaments. And if we get rid of that and we stop supporting it, we're just going to end up with just one league. We're not going to have like the David versus Goliath matchups anymore. We're not going to have what makes soccer special. Like, and I know everybody's like, "Oh, more money for Leagues Cup," and "Oh, it's better to play Mexican teams." Most of the teams that we're playing in Leagues Cup, which is the reason why we're not participating in US Open Cup fully this year, are the same teams we play all the time. Throw in the Mexican teams, which aren't even allowed to play at home. They can play at a neutral site, but it's still in this country. So we're getting rid of history in this country and what's so many special moments that have kind of defined the way soccer's viewed in this country. I mean, a lot of people shit on the lower leagues, but when I tell you USL teams are selling players to top tier teams and at a better rate than a lot of MLS clubs, Louisville FC has sold like two guys to Porto already. And when's the last time you heard an MLS team selling somebody big outside of Dallas or Philly? You don't. And so, you know, we risk losing soccer in local communities. We risk not having players that can go out there in these areas and just get kids interested in soccer and grow the game here in the country, all because we want to grab some money and which we're not going to spend on rosters. We're not spending this money on players. The Leagues Cup tournament is just to put money back in people's pockets. And after this US Open Cup thing, you feel how you feel about it. I know people who love it that we're not playing it. I obviously hate it. I'm not going to a Leagues Cup game. I refuse. I will not buy another ticket to go see Leagues Cup because you're completely just shitting on the history of the country. You're shitting on the most historic tournament that we have just to grab some more money for owners who are not going to reinvest it in their teams. Or owners like ours who would reinvest it in the team if they could, but we're handicapped by roster rules. So that's my little rant. I'm done trying to convince people that the US Open Cup matters because a lot of people who are new to MLS that have just come in don't give a shit. But it's something that's important to me and I think should be important for anybody who thinks that we need to grow this game in the country. And I can tell you this, if we just have MLS and USL and all the lower leagues go away, MLS or US men's national team will be worse off for it. All right, I'm done.
All right. So unlike you, I was quiet and let you rant. I want to add a few things to it because first off, that I'm completely in agreement. I think this is a travesty. What really, really bothers me is the bullshit reasons I have to listen to why we should get. So first off, I want to be clear. If you hate US Open Cup, you cannot be a fan of England's FA Cup. They are modeled on the same system. I get
what's
that.
The one? Copa del Rey in Spain.
This is the system in every single nation. And every single nation figures out how to pull this off but us. Now, I get the new argument. Well, there's too much travel. Well, that's MLS. That's Leagues Cup. In Leagues Cup, you're playing 7 games around the country, almost none regionalized. And we're okay with this. But in US Open Cup, all of a sudden, it's a problem. It's a bullshit reason. you tell us that American soccer is not as good as Europe. Let's be clear. A USL team played for the championship 2 years ago. Last time that happened in FA Cup, 2018. So you can make an argument very easily that our tournament is more competitive than FA Cup just by that simple fact alone. So first off, I find that a completely bullshit reason. And for those who wants to argue schedule congestion, let's be clear. There was no Leagues Cup. Then schedule congestion became a problem. The reason why, instead of like Europe, because remember, England has a Leagues Cup. It's now called the, Branton, help me with how to pronounce it correctly.
First of all, that is not the Leagues Cup, but it's the Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup, thank you.
It's also known as the EFL Cup because it encompasses all league, all.
And when I watch every time they call it the League Cup. Anyway, they run it throughout the season and don't spend an entire month taking off. They figure out how to schedule it. And for all those people that are like, well, League Cup is so important, I want to remind every single one of them. Do you know why Messi won't play most likely 7 times for Inter Miami? Because instead of us taking off in the proper FIFA window and giving the break for Copa, we are instead playing through that. So when Copa is happening in America, the second, maybe third most prestigious tournament we'll ever get in the U.S., we are playing MLS soccer. Why? League Cup congestion. So I find every argument to be bullshit. It's weird because I don't get why people hate on U.S. Open Cup so much. It's not like I can kind of point to like, well, you really don't like X, so you're against it. It's silly. Like you either love the international football like way of doing things or you don't. But U.S. Open Cup is no different than FA Cup. We have every other country can figure out how to run multiple tournaments throughout the year successfully. And again, I'm sorry. I know we all make a big deal about travel. This ain't the Oregon Trail. They're not taking trains. We have very nice airplanes flying them around. By the way, it's all private travel. Like this isn't like they're getting on the same 737 the rest of us are on. And, I've got Messi sitting behind me and Negri in front of me. They're in a private jet every single time. They have private travel. I get if you do like 4 or 5 of these trips in one shot, that does suck, right? You're away from your home. But that's not what they're doing either. They're going, taking the flight, coming on back. They're professional athletes. They can handle this. It's a joke. If you can do Leagues Cup, you can do U.S. Open Cup. If this is all money, you said it's all money play. It's all for Apple. By the way, I just want to point out, like everyone's complaining that U.S. Open Cup doesn't have a great sponsor. Just a reminder to watch CCC, you have to have FS2, which talk about like a channel that no one like really. I get it's a weird like kind of pseudo soccer channel. They for years had a lot of soccer, but this is not like a major channel. It's not an ESPN. It's not an Apple TV. So every reason is bullshit. And I don't get why people want to hate on this so much and not recognize that they're hating on it one place and the hypocrisy of the hate. So I'm in agreement with you. I kind of more specific as to why. I just think it's bullshit. I got into an argument on a Discord the other day and I said, oh, so you don't like FA Cup? Oh, no, that's different. They're better. But it's not. It's a ridiculousness.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And, it'd be one thing if we were saying, oh, MLS is doing this because they're not getting enough money and the league's going to go bust or something. But no, this is just to line billionaires' pockets and try to get some other billionaires to buy into this bullshit scheme and, ruin everything. So, on that note, let's talk about another thing ruining everything. Season ticket holder news.
Man, this made my heart
not a
warm.
lot impacting us directly, but our friends in Nashville.
Can I just say how much I enjoyed this? I enjoyed it for 2 reasons. So
if you were pissed off at one point, let's talk about why you were pissed first, and then we can get into why we both enjoyed this.
Well, I got pissed not at this. I got pissed off at Ticketmaster. So can we do that the other way around? Let's cover this first while I was happy, and then I'll.
Yeah. Well, all right. Whatever.
Okay, I want to start here. So I enjoyed the hell out of this specifically. So first off, Nashville just showed everybody that you can do right of first refusal on your seats. Here's their message they send out. You've got 24 hours to claim your seats. You can have your seat for CCC. This is what we've been begging Inter Miami to do. In fact, in their season ticket agreement, they told us we get this for like MLS Cup. Why we can't have it for everything else? I have no idea. But I appreciate the sauce. The second piece that I loved was all the Nashville fans getting the Messi tax. I think one guy wrote, my tickets went up 5 times in price. Welcome to Inter Miami, bitch. We're doing it every game. And
Yeah.
as someone who
And
took
guess
a
what?
lot of
Messi doesn't
grief,
play every game here or won't.
dude, do you remember how much grief I took after the article in the Guardian camp? There was a whole Reddit thread about
Hey,
what a
let's not
horrible fan I was. What?
let's not talk about that one, okay?
Okay. But there was that whole thread. How ungrateful I am. How I don't know what it's like to get to have Messi. I should be excited. I should be willing to pay any price. To have the Nashville fans saying, we don't even want him here. Why do we have to spend this? I loved it. I couldn't have been
So
happier. I found this whole thread to be amazing. I
the
commented
Na-
on the thread. I had a lot of fun with it.
so the Nashville fans don't want him there for one reason, and it's the same reason that Orlando fans don't want him there. Poppy is Poppy, man.
Well, Poppy is Poppy, and they're paying more to see it. So, like, it's when you pay the extra,
Well,
the extra $100
they're the
bucks, but
same.
they you feel a little more pain because of it.
They're the same brain dead morons that think that they're somehow paying for Messi's salary here. So
I actually get their frustration, right? Like, it does suck that all of a sudden you want to go see your team play, but because the other guy's shown up with some guy, you got to pay more. But I'm sorry, I have zero empathy. I might have before all the shit I took, but once I
maybe
personally got called
if
out by hundreds of people, I lost the empathy.
maybe if MLS teams all had superstars and it wasn't such a rarity to see one in person, you wouldn't have
Maybe,
to pay 5 times the ticket amount.
or
Oh,
maybe, or
but
maybe if
schedule's
those
congested. We got to make more money in League's Cup.
Hey, just a reminder,
Bullshit.
maybe those teams specifically could have made a run at Messi, could have made a run at Ronaldo. They had all these options. And
Hey,
what's funny is I actually do
SKC
really
made a
appreciate
run at Ronaldo. That was,
I
you know,
I really do have appreciation for Nashville. It's one of my favorite teams in the league. I think there are rivals, but I have a strong appreciation for them. But the whole thing cracked me up. Okay, so the thing that pissed me off, I paid a lot of money for my CCC tickets. I got it first time they came out. I paid a lot of money for them. I went online the other day, saw the seat behind me is now 40% less than I paid for tickets.
the seat behind you, by the way, may or may not still be for sale.
And I hope you buy it because literally it went down $10 between my first rant about this to you and it's showing and you looking. So
I
CCC
just want
tickets
to
are price
go
are
and hold
dropping.
my Ticketmaster receipt where I can be like, "Hey, look what I paid." And just hold it in front of you the whole time.
I'm gonna throw you in a Messi's box when you do that. I just think it's. I
Fine.
contacted my ticket rep. They're saying it's Ticketmaster. I guess it's funny. I guess we all see the surge pricing, but now you see the desurge pricing and get screwed by it. Uh, I think
Well,
it
it's
is
interesting
ridiculous.
that they would apply the same logic to a pre-sale for season ticket holders. Is my thing. Like, I don't understand how you're going to say, "Oh yeah, it's the surge from Ticketmaster." But shouldn't you be already giving like your season ticket holders like what your rock bottom price is, not
It,
or close to
I
it?
agreed.
Because if let's say like for a seat, let's say in the pre-sale you paid $100, and then when it came out, like we're getting like close to game time, we're a week out, and tickets are going for 90, you don't really care too much. $10, okay, you guaranteed that you're there, you got the seats you wanted, you're good. But when you're
Dude,
paid $200 and now all of a sudden those same tickets are like 90, there's a problem.
it went down $150 for my seats. I bought 3 of them. I bought equivalent. It went down equivalent to me buying a 4 seat. Like
Yeah, I could have
I
gone for
I
free.
contacted my ticket rep. Like, what can you do? And they're like, nothing. And it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I'm very frustrated by it. I don't know how to really deal with it though, because like I could pass up trying to get the seats I want, and therefore like it's a boycott for a game that means something to me. It's I'm being screwed either way. I legitimately don't know
Well,
way to handle it.
you have to go. I mean, it's not like you could sell them and
No,
make money
because I
on
took a
it. Like,
loss. Right now, I'm a
lose.
guaranteed loss.
Yeah, so
Um,
you gotta go. Like, you at this
no,
point, it'd be a boycott on principle and
right,
hurting your
and
wallet,
what's going
and
to happen? I think we're going to win our way through this first round. I think we're going to be Nashville. So I got to go through it again. And I just think this is one of those
Sucker,
things the
man.
club needs to consider. Like, how many times can you screw me before I finally stop? The problem is, and we both know this, there's someone next behind me to buy my seats. And right now we exist in the club that they
What
can
happens
do
when
this
you have
to
the
us.
nice seats, man?
I know.
Slum it.
I mean, I get it. It's first world problems, but it's legitimately bullshit problems.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. I mean, it's frustrating, and then for your rep to tell you they can't do anything kind of sucks. But
Yeah, there's going to be, when we get close to it, I'm
his
going to,
fault. And
no.
let's don't anybody call your ticket reps and give them a hard time. Like, they don't have any control over this. This isn't them.
No, and I like my rep. My rep is a good guy. My rep's Hunter
Yeah.
for who has him. Like, I like Hunter a lot.
Yeah,
He's super responsive.
my
I've
rep
heard
as
so
well.
many.
He's always
I'm
helped
gonna
me
say,
out with everything, and
I've seen horror stories. No, after I think I'm on my 7th rep now. I've lived the horror stories. It's the overall policies
I got
that
lucky.
they
Hunter's
that
my
just don't
second.
care. You're only your second. Oh my God, I go through
I
like
have my
2-3 a
original
year.
rep, and now I have Hunter. There may have been other reps in between who never told me anything, but
No, I had
Hunter.
oh my God, I can't even think of all the reps I've gone through. In the first 2 years, I went through 5 reps, and it's not like they were getting rid of me, which I totally understand because I am a pain
Is
in
it
the
the
ass.
reps or
They were
is it
quitting.
the season ticket holder? You got to look in that mirror, partner.
I know, I get it. But they're quitting. They're unless I'm so bad, I'm making them
Because of
quit,
you.
which is possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. Well, do you remember? So the week we got Pozuelo, they cleaned house. They fired like half the reps or 3/4 of the reps. I literally text my rep, like, "Hey, do you still work here anymore?" He's like, "Yeah, no, they fired everyone but me and Teddy." I think it was this guy. I forget his name. It was him
Teddy's
and
a
Teddy were
good
the only
dude,
two to
too.
survive.
Yeah.
I think I had Brittany at one point. So Mike V's playing. I think I had Teddy, then Brittany. I think I had Brittany. I have had. Oh my God, I've had so many reps. I like
is the
Hunter.
best.
I think he's a great rep. I don't know if he watches the show, but Hunter's an awesome rep. I've got nothing but good things to say about him. But I am still not happy that this is a club issue. It's the marketing agency. It's just bullshit.
Oh, we're showing some love for the reps. I love it.
All right, so bullshit.
So now,
let's talk about Pape's Papi.
Yeah, the Brightline Classico beatdown, thanks to Pedro.
So let's start out with the most important thing. I was right because this team knew they were in a derby. It was acknowledged. Messi acknowledged in his post-game interview that they came in here with the energy on, and his exact quote was, "This was easier than we thought it was going to be," which I just love that after you win 5-0, you turn that screw one last time, that locker room bulletin board of this was easier than we thought it was going to be. But Branton, I appreciate you admitting this. I was right. I think all of our listeners should hear that.
They already heard it. We don't need to talk about it again. We
No,
talked
it's
about it
important.
in the parking
We
lot
got
after the game.
15.
It's not
We've got
important.
15. We've got 15 people live right now. They should all hear it live.
It's not important.
It's not important.
No, it's not. It's really not.
So starting lineup. I know you. I was shocked with it. Talk to you. Surprised.
I think everybody at the tailgate for sure was shocked with this lineup because we all thought there would be some decent rotation.
Huge rotation. Yeah, Mike bitched about life. I did bitch. I was like,
Yeah.
what the hell's going on? Where's Campana? Why is Busquets, who's supposedly injured, starting? It made no sense whatsoever. Tata got it right. Like, you can't argue this one.
Yeah.
Tata got this one right.
No, you can't argue it. And I think, we're playing on Thursday, so the team's got some time to rest. I do think Montreal, we see rotation. We have to.
You have to.
For that game. But yeah, lineup is not what we expected. Suarez, Messi, Taylor starting up top. Gomez, Busquets, Gressel, which seems to be the favored midfield there for Briera. Is that I'm getting closer.
We're never gonna get this right, so let's just accept we're gonna butcher it.
Briera, something like that. Anyway, he made his debut and looked really good. Then Alves, Yedlin in the back. What turned out to be Yedlin's last game with the team and calendar between the sticks. I was shocked by the lineup, but Tata got it right. I mean, damn, we looked real good. Free air. That's how I was saying it. I was
So
saying
I think
Frere.
Friere, when you and I were discussing this, made a difference, right? Like he came
Yeah.
in and that back line looked so calm. It was just calm. The few times Orlando attacked, so Calendar had 3 saves in this match. They did get some pressure. He was very calm. I noticed it because
Yeah.
my seats are right on the 18. When the back line got under pressure, they stood up as a back line. You had all
Yeah.
4 lined up perfectly across. Toto also played out his mind. I honestly felt Toto felt like there was someone else behind him he could trust because he was so good. And when he got out of position, he got caught. He didn't panic. There was no stupid fouls. Like so many times I've seen these
No.
guys make stupid fouls. He stood like, hey, he beats me. I know I've got Yedlin right there. I know I've got Friere right behind me. I'm good to go. And you saw a difference in this team by having that solid backline. I don't think it was just that. I do think overall passing percent just got better as well. I think that was another key point. And we had less stupid giveaways, but that defensive line anchored by Frere is a different back line.
Frey. Got it, Mike V.
See, we already got 2 different people trying to tell us how to say this.
Well, I heard them say it on the broadcast when I rewatched the game, and Frey. Yeah, that was it. By the way, I would like to again call out Taylor Twellman for being a complete and useless commentator on these games. Holy shit. Did he forget that last game he said Suarez was finished? He looked hurt. Like, just give me a break, man. And then he was like all sucking off Suarez, like, oh, this is the magic he brought in Brazil. This is why he won the Golden Ball. Like, just shut up, man. He
He's like me. He's got to be right. Like I'm going to change my tune 15 times till I find the one that works.
No. He's
and by the way,
than you.
If Suarez has a bad game, he's old and injured again. Like, we know that's going to happen.
Yeah. It's but I have to say, like, I don't speak Spanish, and I wanted to watch it in Spanish just so I didn't have to listen to his voice.
Well, good news. On Thursday, you don't have to listen to his voice.
He is, Pablo. I tried to say hi to him at the Messi Unveil event, and he completely ignored me. Not that he should know who I am, but I just saw him there. He was standing under a rain cover, and I was like, oh, hey, man, you do great work. And he just walked right past me. So you're right.
Because he knew he's like, I know who that guy is, and he's lying to me right now because I've heard him all the bad things he said about me.
Twellman used to do good work.
All right.
Now that he's with Apple, he's a hack.
So just cover the scoring. I think everyone watching knows how the scoring worked out, but Suarez has 2 early. Then Suarez has a chance to get the hat trick and plays it off to Taylor for an easy tap in. So
beautiful.
It was beautiful. And it shows, we talked about culture on this team. And Branton, you made an argument. Culture made that we argued what winning culture is, but culture was happening. Clearly, there's a culture showing up in this team. I think this is also where you start seeing Yedlin as the culture guy,
I think you're confusing culture with chemistry in this argument.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you're
clearly
the
team has chemistry on the field. Culture you don't see on the field. Culture is in the background.
No, I think you do see culture. I think the way you guys see these guys celebrating, they're playing off to each other. I think that's about the culture is we're here to win as a team. We're not here for individual glory. I think that's a part of culture. And I think what we saw Suarez doing is he's not out here to just score and do everything on his own. He's going to play as a team. He's in it for the larger picture of winning as a team. I think we saw that. And listen, this is why we take. I'm complimenting, right? Like I am saying, the culture is that we want to see forming is starting to form. We didn't see in preseason. We didn't see it last year. We're seeing it now. Again, preseason practice. I get it. I'll let you have the moment. We're seeing it now. And so I think that's a huge deal. I'm giving credit where credit is due. Like they're playing as a team. They're playing all together. And I also think this is another argument where we're ready to move on from Calendar's culture and what he not Calendar. Sorry. Yedlin.
Whoa.
Yeah, sorry, misspoke. We're ready to move on from that culture that Yedlin brought on. We have other guys bringing that now. And so, again, I think it worked. And then you saw it again, by the way, right? Suarez could have taken another shot with Messi and played I know. I think it was our buddy Callie said it was the greatest goal he's ever seen in person. The
Oh
header
yeah.
from Messi off of Suarez's
Yep.
pass was fantastic.
That was awesome.
But
Like uh, you can't even I
you know,
on the one
I mean,
where
it's early in the season, but Suarez could have 4 goals right now, like clearly taking over and proving to everyone that he's done it. He held back,
well,
right?
but so I don't think he held back. Like
Yeah,
Suarez is that guy. Like if you watch when he played in Brazil, like he was the guy to hand it off when he needed to because he wanted to get the goal. And he's showing that he's not just a pure striker, like give me the ball and I'm gonna score. Like he's making things happen. And I think
but
that's really special to see.
I think okay, on Taylor goal, true. Like that was a more sure goal to pass that off.
Mhm.
The Messi goal, you could almost argue he took the harder one to give his boy Messi a shot. Right? Like he
Yeah.
one-on-one was probably a better percentage XG than him passing it all the way across to Messi. And I go, it's going to Messi, who Messi has to use his head to put in. Like that was a very impressive sequence. It was probably the
But
harder
I
of the
think
two
that's
sequences.
well, I think it's harder if you're anybody who's not Suarez and Messi.
Hmm.
Because they played together, they have that chemistry. Like Messi knew where that ball was coming before Suarez even touched it for the first time, I think.
It was
Like,
impressive. Like Messi
yeah,
moved to where that ball was going to end up. He knew it.
yeah. And you pointed it out. Messi has yet to score with his head with his foot.
What was his? No, I said that, but then I forgot he scored the very end of the LA goal. He did score with his
Oh,
feet. So he's now
yeah, that's
scored with
true.
essentially his head, his body, and his feet. Like maybe
Yeah,
throw a thigh in there soon, though. The way that ball bounced down, the whole thing was
yeah.
ridiculous. By the way, the penalty that was coming if he didn't score for the guy who literally had his jersey like a foot behind him, like we were going to get a
eh,
PK if he didn't score that one. No one said it, but the guy
Yeah.
tried literally holding Messi back. There's no way that's not a penalty.
Well, yeah, no
Not that it
way. But
mattered.
then the other thing we have to talk about because you and I have both been critical of him. We deserve to give it to him is Gressel was fantastic. Like he was on point. He assisted what two of the goals.
Yep. What was it?
Um,
One of them was a secondary assist, right?
was
It was an
great.
MLS assist, I think.
Uh,
Oh
I,
no, wait, it was
I
it
think he
was
assisted too, and
you're right.
then
No, it is. It was a true assist. It was that one where Suarez, the second Suarez goal where he basically pushed off a defender, quick ball
yeah,
to Gressel, and then Gressel just dinked it over the top. It was beautiful.
yeah, and then he nailed the crossbar. I thought he was
He,
going to
so
have that one.
So that was our issue. I think looking at it live and the locations we watched from, we kind of focused, we talked about it in the parking lot. We focused on those 2 misses he had and kind of didn't realize, I guess for us both, the assist happened on the other side of the field. I didn't even
Yeah,
realize he had that second assist. I knew he had the first, but I didn't realize he had a second. Um he played great. And I think everyone recognized it. I think going back to Joe's point earlier, he deserved with 2 assists, he deserved to be team of the week.
yeah,
Uh
and we'll
it
get
is.
into
It
that, but
is. I don't want to get too excited about this game because it was such a beatdown. You wonder if we can keep it up. But man, we were firing on all cylinders for this match.
see, and so this is where I'm going to say I don't think we were firing on all cylinders. I
That's a
think
scary
Busquets
thought.
was very bad as CDM. There were several times where he gave the ball up like right outside the penalty box. Like he tried to do some back heel pass to no one at one point, and
Oh, it
Orlando
went right
City
to
took
yeah.
it and almost scored. Yeah. So I also don't think Gomez played very well. I think he played very, very poorly. He probably I know he got a yellow card like later in the game, but he probably should have had one within the first like 5 minutes because he had like three very aggressive tackles.
Well, Gomez, as of right now, Gomez is has the most fouls in Major League Soccer. Now it's a little bit of a misnomer because we're almost every team has one game in hand on us, but he is I think 11 fouls so far in 3 games.
Yeah,
Like it's not good. He's going to be under yellow card suspension a lot, which is the fact that we have quite
yeah,
a few midfielders shows up.
yeah. So I think those two areas were definitely things like three-quarters of our midfield was not playing well, and so I I think we played really well, but I also think that this team possibly has like another level it can kick it to.
Well, I think Redondo is
When
going to open it
Busquets
up.
is healthy and Redondo's in there bossing that CDM role and kind of solidifying that with his passing, that's going to be really scary for opposing teams.
By the way, Sean's asking if we think he's going to move to right back. Gressel's going to move. Sean, we covered that a little bit at the beginning. There's very much different opinion between two of us. I do think he'll move to that right back. Branton thinks he's gonna stay in the midfield, and Gomez is gonna take Taylor's starting spot. So
Gomez and Taylor are going to kind of rotate in that front. Is my thought. I think right now Robbie's played better than Gomez has in the 3 games we have so far. So maybe Gomez goes to the bench.
Well, and the other advantage if he does move to left wing is maybe he'll be less foul. Like I don't know how to say this.
It's possible. It is possible because he's not in the congestion of the midfield. So maybe that does help him. But either way, I mean, I'm not too worried about that.
So
Yeah,
Joker asking the Suarez. I saw a picture where he looked offside, like just barely enough that I think it should have been like it felt like it should have been looked at more. Like I know you said you saw on the screen the VAR check happening.
On the scoreboard, it said that it happened. But then I also thought that when it happens, the ref is supposed to say something, but maybe that's only when he goes to the monitor.
I think
I don't know.
Well, so by the way, I heard I watched a lot of soccer the past 2 weekends, a lot of MLS. Someone said with the replacement refs, they are not doing the announcements.
They did it in the first game.
That's what they said. Maybe they changed it again. I mean, this whole thing's a joke. Like, by the way, let's take 2 seconds
let's
to
not even
acknowledge.
talk about MLS saying don't talk about replacement refs in the broadcast.
No, I more want to talk about. I think everyone. If you didn't hear, the center ref that we had for this game was not the one we were supposed to have because 6 hours before the match, a photo surfaced of the original center ref in a Messi jersey. The Orlando fans were upset, albeit probably rightly so. And they kicked the guy out and put a different ref in, which is great, honestly, because there was one less thing that anyone could complain about. In fact, Brandon, you and I discussed it post match. I thought it was a well ref game. I had no complaints about the ref.
Yeah, I have no complaints about the ref. In a game like this where it's a high scoring game, I don't think a ref influences a game. So even if that other guy was the ref, I wouldn't have been worried about it. But it's when you come down to like a 1-1 and the 90th minute, that's when a ref can screw something up. But
so one last thing on this match, I got to call out. I was not happy with Tata subs yet again. We did not make a sub to the 67th minute. And that's when we started pulling players. We're up 4-5-0 at this point. There's no reason. And so only the argument 10 minutes, 10 extra minutes here and there doesn't hurt a player. There's no reason to leave our main guys in at risk of injury because in a rivalry match, people sometimes start showing frustration. You start seeing what goes from a cheeky foul to a true bad foul. It's not worth it at this point anymore. And so I was not happy that Tata waited so long. I still don't think he has any understanding of how to properly, sub players. And I think it's an issue. It's going to keep on happening. But I was very frustrated. I kept on looking at my watch and looking towards the guys warming up, going, why the hell do I not see Campana in yet? Like, this was a problem.
I mean, especially at halftime up 3-0. I mean, you can start kind of planning to make a couple subs. Maybe not right out of halftime, but like 55 minutes, you should start.
I would have expected guys in the box by the 57th minute trying to sub in. Like, that's what I expected. Again, 10 minutes later to get those subs in. And only 2, by the way.
I think part of that was, honestly, I think he left Suarez in as long as he did because Suarez wanted the hat trick. Because on the Messi goal where Messi like chested it or whatever into the goal, Suarez looked at Alba and was like, why'd you make that pass? Like, you should have hit me.
No, Alba took the shot. I was trying for the ding.
Yeah, but if you saw Suarez went over to him afterwards and they was joking because there was a goal, but he like looked at him like, you should have just passed it to me and left it to me. And so
didn't see it, but
I
I
think
believe
that's
it.
part of it. I think that's part of it.
But still, I
But
think
yeah,
this
I
is
mean, like, I
so
think
early in the
Gomez
season.
probably should have come out earlier, and he waited till like the 79th minute. Um, Freira, probably should have come out earlier just because like it was his first game back. Like we gotta, you know. Well, that's a good point, Mike V.
So
Um,
Mike V is saying that Messi wants all the points. I get it, but we're up 4-5 nothing. Like even goal differential, like
yeah.
once you hit 4 goals, like going for 5 isn't that big a deal.
Well, that and like Orlando was dead.
They
Like
were so bad.
they came out at halftime and there wasn't a lot of life there.
So
I
we're
think
at 55 minutes. I want to cover two. I want to make sure we cover two, get to Nashville. So I'm going to kind of push us along. I do want to say really one thing though. Our first two matches already are looking better. So Real Salt Lake comes out in the first MLS snowball of the year. I don't know if you've seen images from it. So they were playing in what had to be 4 inches of snow. There was a guy who did a snow angel as a goal celebration. They beat LAFC 3-0. So here's LAFC. Everyone predicts to win the West again or be in the top two. RSL comes out and whooped their butt. RSL also tied St. Louis at St. Louis. Like that RSL 2-0 win looks really good right now. Like we are looking at, hey, we beat a very good team and didn't really show then. The other one is LA Galaxy. Okay, they played San Jose, probably still one of the worst teams in the league. Solid 3-1 win. That winger of theirs, the one that was causing us grief but didn't score, he scored. I can't remember his name. But LA Galaxy is going to be a good team by the end of the season. I just want to call out that those 4 points we picked up, I think come mid-season, we're going to look back and go, we were very, very good to even get those 4 points. And I think it actually underwhelmed us to how good we were probably playing in these games because I don't remember who said it. Actually, might have been Pansels. By the way, Sean Pansels, who I was referring to, he had the goal. But someone brought up the point that when we played bad, we got 4 points off of good teams. When Orlando, who's supposed to be a good team, played bad against us, they lost 5-0. And again, I'm trying not to get too excited. I'm not fully believing this is the team yet, but there's a lot of evidence starting to pile up that we might be scary good. I know you're there. I'm more hesitant. I'm a cautious guy. What can I say?
you're not. You have flip-flopped so hard between last week and this week.
And I flip flopped
Last
the week
week,
before.
you were ready for us to lose 3-1 to Orlando. Let's call that out.
I was.
3-1
I
loss.
told you.
And now
My buddy Eric. So it's
the
funny. My
evidence
buddy
is
Eric's
piling up 2 games in for most MLS teams that we're going to be the best team.
So my buddy
Don't
Eric.
worry, man. Like
My buddy
I don't
Eric
think we're
believes
world beaters, but
my buddy Eric thought we were going to win 3-0. He sits in my row, and so we go up 2, and he gives me a symbol 3. I look at him and go, I think it's 5. I think the goals are going to keep on coming.
it should have been 7.
Could have been 10.
It should have been 7.
If Suarez just wanted to score every goal he got, he would have been 10. One match doesn't make so we've had, in my opinion, out of 6 halves, we've had 3 good and 3 bad. I remember I really originally wanted to title the episode, Mike preseason long of hiding that one. So I originally wanted to title this episode, will the real Inter Miami stand up, right? Like I think we've had good, we've had bad. I did go back, and this is where I think going back and looking at what RSL is now doing and LA is now doing kind of made me say, okay, I was hard on the team, but I didn't realize I was really hard against good teams. That made me feel better. That actually made me feel better past day or two.
I hate to do this to you, but you have to throw all that analysis out. LAFC had to play in 4 inches of snow, which they've never done ever.
So did RSL.
RSL's used to that. They live there. Okay.
It's different living there than playing competitive matches in 4 inches
they
of snow.
Train there.
They train indoors.
Competitive advantage.
I don't know for sure, but I'm sure they have an indoor training facility.
I doubted. That's a huge competitive advantage. And you're saying LAFC, who played San Jose, who is the worst team in the league. LA Galaxy played San Jose, sorry. and you're ready to say like, oh, they're a great team. Like,
No, but
no, they're
I
not.
think they're good. Dude, Paintsel looked
We know
good.
they're
He
good. We
looked
saw
good.
what they did to us.
And against when we played bad, they could tie us.
But
That's
I
a good
think what
thing.
you're forgetting is that point that we got from the Galaxy game is 100% the ref giving us that. So let's
Welcome to
keep that
sports, man.
in our mind here. Yeah,
No,
but don't jump off the cliff and say we're world
why do
beaters
you
now
what
after
is with
this.
you? First off, that's not what I said. Second off, why do you have to kill my vibe? I'm in a good mood. I'm feeling good.
Because you're going too far, man. Because
That's who I
then
am.
if we
That
lose
is
to
who I am.
Nashville 2-1, then you're jumping off the cliff next week.
No.
Yes.
I don't have us winning this game. So
Oh God.
no, I don't have us winning. We'll cover that in a second. All right, so we're going to Nashville. Nashville is struggling, right? Like they tied New York Red Bull at home. They tied Colorado. I know someone said earlier that Colorado is up and coming. Colorado has not played well so far.
You said that.
No, it was in the chat here.
You said that in the preseason. You said
There, Sean,
Colorado,
Colorado
the
going to
team to
surprise a lot of
watch.
teams in the West. Well, Sean listens to me, and I appreciate that. Hani Mukhtar and Surge are both supposedly injured. I was talking to one of the guys who runs one of the Nashville podcasts earlier. I'm going to kind of quote what he said real quick. I think Nashville will be hungry for a win at the Castle, especially against his opponent. A lot of sore feelings, and we played well against Miami in the final. If Surge and Mukhtar play, it'll be a good game to watch. Nashville played for CCC over league play first round. So you get the feeling, just again, based off what one of our kind of peers is saying, is that Nashville is going to come out and play. I believe, and I was saying to them was, considering we rolled out our first team on Saturday, I know we got a couple days rest. It's not horrible. I think we're playing for the tie. I don't think we're playing for the win. I'm sitting in my head at like a 2-2 draw. The only reason I'm kind of questioning that is we've only had one goal scored against us over the past 3 games. A 2 goals sneaking in feels like not right, especially against a team like Nashville who's struggling. But I think this ends up in a draw, and we have the chance to kind of walk through at home. That's kind of where I'm sitting right now. A 1-goal loss, probably not a surprise. A 1-goal win, also not. Like, I'm sitting right there. This will be a close game because I just don't think we're going to trot out. We're not going to try to win there. We're going to get a little more rest so that we can come back, play against Montreal with a decent team, and have a little bit of gas left in the tank. That's where I'm sitting.
Wrong again.
Tell me what I'm wrong.
It's going to be a 3-1 win. These
Expand.
guys,
Don't just be quiet. You gotta explain yourself.
Got 4 days rest in between games. Last week we saw what happened when this team and they said on the broadcast last week, a big part of the reason why we clicked so well is because we actually had a week's training together, which is not something we've had in the preseason because we're trotting all over the place. And I think with 4 days in between games, I think you can run out the exact same lineup minus Yedlin. And I think you can go out there and you can come away with an easy 3-1 win. I don't even know if we let up one, honestly. If the defense plays the same way they did with Mukhtar and Sturridge or whoever, yeah, Sturridge, I think is his name.
Surge.
Surge,
There's
yeah.
no T.
With those guys, questionable and having probably not trained with the team a whole lot, I don't have a lot of confidence that Nashville's going to be able to put a lot offensively towards us, especially with Redondo. If he's making his debut, that kid's going to be on fire. He's going to be out there ready to make moves, and he can boss a midfield. And if it's a toothless attack, he's going to feast. I think Montreal, we'll get into it when we record after Nashville. Montreal, you might as well write that game off. We're not winning. If we do, it's going to be like a Liverpool versus Chelsea performance. It's about the kids. I had to do it. But yeah,
that's just mean.
I think Suarez.
It's because I was right. I was
warm.
right about the game that you need to rub that in.
Listen, Suarez is in form, and we're talking about post-game comments. he said he saw Darwin Nunez score a late winner for Liverpool, and that inspired him to go out and give it his all.
I'm gonna
He
say what I said
absolutely
last
said that,
game.
by the way.
I'm okay. I'm okay being wrong. It doesn't bother me. I think Tata's not playing. It wasn't when he rolled out Saturday's lineup. He was looking at Thursday and going, We don't need to win on the road. We just need to tie." And so that's kind of what I'm expecting. Listen, I would like to be wrong, right? This is in my positive best interest if I'm wrong, but I'm not gonna get on my couch at 9 o'clock on Thursday night, go to FS2, that great sports channel that's totally the same, different than whatever we watch US Open Cup on, and get upset if this is a 2-1 loss or a 2-2 tie.
I'm
I
not
can live
saying
with
you
that as a
should.
fan.
I'm not saying that you should get upset, but what I'm saying is, it's like tactically we match up very well against Nashville at this point. I don't see how Nashville's. I don't see how Nashville stops this attack. I don't, because now you have to worry about Suarez. You have to worry about Messi. You have to worry about Robbie Taylor.
But I guess
Gressel's going to be up in the attack. Like,
my point and argument is, and I'm not in Tata's head like you are. Like, I know that you've got the Harry Potter and Voldemort link going on between you two, but I don't. I think this is when we see some rotation. Now, as someone who has tweeted many times that Tata doesn't know how to do rotation,
he's not going to rotate in CCC, man. He's
I
not
think
going to
you can
do it.
on the away leg. You
No,
can.
no.
Yeah,
What?
you can.
No. You can rotate against a weak Montreal team at home. You cannot rotate on the road in CCC, because if we lose this game, the shitstorm the media is going to
Yeah, but
create
you know
is
what?
not worth
That's what we all said
pressing
last
people.
week about Orlando was they're going to see rotation. We don't have to win this game. It's not the end of the world. And he didn't listen to
Right.
any of us.
But we said he was going to rotate because CCC was more important. And this is the tournament that they want to win. This is
I
it. Like,
agree.
there is
But I
there
just
is
don't
no
understand why we
we
trotted
can
out the
lose this
team we
game.
trotted. I get where you're trying, but I don't get the team we trotted out on Saturday. So I'm just going to assume Tata's going to do the opposite of whatever I think. So I'm trying to guess. Like, I'm trying to stay 2
Maybe
steps
what
ahead
you
of
should
myself.
do is start like thinking tactically instead of
I
trying to
do.
think like that.
I did think tactically. It made no sense to start Suarez on Saturday, yet he did. So now I'm
Well,
thinking it makes no sense to do rotation the first leg of CCC. So that's kind of what I assume he's going to do.
you can't, but first league of CCC, like, you can't put Campana in. Campana has no form right now because he's gotten no minutes. You can't put him in. Like, you've
I'm
gotta go
I
hard.
want you need to say that. Like, we're going to write down what you just said. That
He's
you
not
don't
in
want
form.
Campana in.
I just said he's not in form because he doesn't get minutes. You can't bring a striker in at the 70-minute every game and expect him to develop form and to get in
I just
form.
can't
It's not
handle
gonna
the fact
happen.
that every single time I've ever bashed Campana, you've gotten mad at me. Now you're saying you can't
It's
start
not
him.
bashing Campana to say that the coach doesn't start him, that he doesn't play
I
him
just
meaningful minutes. It's
I
not
just
bashing
can't handle this.
Campana.
No,
It's
this is
not
not you.
Campana's fault. It's Tata.
This is not you. Are you feeling okay? Do you smell toast?
Way to listen. Way to listen to what I'm saying.
Oh no, I'm not.
But
You've never said a single negative thing about Campana, so I'm just
and I still
struggling here.
haven't. He's not in form
It
because he
doesn't
doesn't
matter,
play.
but you always want him starting. You've always thought he should start.
If you're Tata, this is CCC. You don't lose this game. You don't
I
lose the
think
next one either.
I think
No,
you're looking at big picture.
no.
Again, listen, you are the Tata whisperer. If you think we're starting the best 11 with Redondo in, Gomez up top left, Gressel still in the midfield,
No, I
and
think they probably pop. I think they probably pop Gomez out of the midfield and move Busquets up, Gressel, Redondo, and then
you leave
who
Taylor.
knows?
You're going to leave Taylor in.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, but
I'd leave
I
Taylor in.
believe
He's
you.
had the better couple
No,
games.
I believe you. That's what I'm expecting to see.
Yeah,
I got
well,
faith.
apparently
You're the
not.
whisperer. No, I am. I'm being positive here. I don't mind being
Oh,
wrong. See,
but
you got to understand the genius of my positions. If we lose, I'm right. If we tie, I'm right. And if we win, I'm happy. So I've got,
your
I'm beating
positions are
Vegas.
like the house built on sand, man.
No, it's like the house always wins in my book. Like I'm guaranteed to win.
Well, we'll see.
No, I don't. I get your argument. Like let's take the joking aside. Let's go to therapy. Put the divorce papers away. I have serious concerns that Tata is going to pull a Leagues Cup, which is you play the same guys every single game. You do zero rotation, and it catches up to us. If the rotation's the Montreal game, awesome. I agree. That's where it should be.
Yeah.
I just don't have faith in Tata that he's making those kind of smart, logical decisions. And so I'm trying to play this game where I'm trying to outthink his stupidity. And luckily, I'm very good at stupid thinking.
You're not Tata level dumb, man.
It's really tough to get down to that level.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen. And then, Sean, you're right. He doesn't like rotation.
He doesn't, but you got to rotate these old guys. You got to rotate them a little bit. And so someone's got to be telling him, you got to rest these guys. And to be fair, it could be Moss going, you can't play these every game. I need Messi the second half of the season. Otherwise, I lose $1 billion. Like,
well, no, I think more than anything, Moss is probably saying CCC needs to be your priority now. CCC started like Messi's got to play those 2 games.
Which is why I still don't get why they started Saturday. Not complaining.
I think it's fine. You have 4 days off in between. If you listen, you have 4 days off in between. You've gotten confidence now. You've gotten Suarez starting to score. You've got Gressel played his best game in the midfield. Like that's why you start him, because you're trying to build confidence going into CCC, and that's what's happening. Now, if you take a game off against Montreal and like you rotate a couple of these guys out, like I think you're fine at that point, because I honestly think our B team could play Montreal to a draw. And we'll probably have our B plus team. We might see Messi at the end of the game, or Suarez in later and maybe poach a goal or something to give us the edge. But I don't think Tata's thinking CCC is when you rotate. Like he knows if he exits CCC, he's going to get fired.
I don't think that's true right now.
It absolutely is.
I don't
the Moss
think so.
brothers want to win trophies, and if he exits in the first round, he's going to get fired this season. It might not be immediately, but he's going to get fired.
I think. Listen, I think when we had these conversations 6 episodes ago, there was an expectation we're at 2 wins and a tie. We're feeling good. We just beat Orlando 5-0. And so I think an early exit right now does not mean an August firing. If, and this is an if, we keep on winning in MLS. Now, if that were to change, I'd change my tune. I'd flip-flop, as you like to use the term.
Listen,
but right now, it wouldn't happen.
I think if he exits CCC and we go on a stretch where maybe we lose 3 in a row, you can say goodbye to your boy Tata. And losing 3 in a row is 100% likely.
Do not make Tata my boy. I have not said anything. You can say a lot of things about me, but I have not said anything to make Tata my boy. I have not been a Tata fan for a while.
And I will tell you this. If he loses both Nashville games, he knows he should just pack his bag. That's why he is not going to – there's no way he doesn't go best 11
I'm not
games.
arguing – I'm not going to argue this point because I just can't figure out Tata, and you can.
If you think there's rotation in CCC, man,
but again,
that's like Chelsea rotating in the ooh, have they played in the Champions League? I probably don't know that experience.
When's the last time Liverpool won again? Champions League?
We've won more trophies than you since you've been.
I said last time, not more. I said last time, not more. I recognize you won more. When's the last time you won Champions League?
Well, when's the last time you won a Carabao Cup or an FA Cup?
FA Cup's actually fairly recent.
Last time you were in an FA Cup final, I believe you lost to the Greek Scoutser.
To be fair, it's the last 2 times. At least this time they didn't go to penalty kicks. Yeah. Anyway, Okay, so we went long. We knew we were going to go long. We had a lot to
It's all
cover.
right.
So kind of give everyone a chance. If you have any more questions, like feel free to throw them up there. We'll start putting up
Oh,
as we're going
Joker's
into
got
this.
a good one. No.
Also, does he speak good enough English for you and I to interview him? Not to be rude, but
He does.
does he?
He's done interviews in Atlanta. I've seen in English. Like,
Definitely not his
yeah,
preferred language.
it's
So
not. But also, like, we have a lot more Spanish media than he probably did in Atlanta.
true.
So, I if it were me, like, if I could speak Spanish, like, I would want to speak to him in Spanish because that's how you get the most direct answer. I think.
But then I wouldn't be able to understand. For everyone, like so between Thursday and Sunday, there's not a lot of time. Branton and I are planning on recording sometime Saturday afternoon. We still have to kind of figure out when. Friday night's kind of a no-go because we do have spouses and they do like to see us. So we'll get a timeout for a Saturday show to cover what we hope is a win, a non-rotated significant win in Nashville to really, we didn't even get this, really get that right to kind of put the stamp on that not being a rivalry yet because Nashville just can't beat us in meaningful games.
Yep.
Who played? Who played peekaboo better?
Oh,
Okay, so I want to go into this real quick.
can we not?
No, I have to.
No.
So Branton, for
Can we
all of his
not?
Please.
Please.
High and mighty behavior, had to remind me multiple times that when you wear a kilt, a proper Scotsman lets the air flow freely, if you know what I mean.
Can you?
And I always ask him, Branton, you wearing a kilt? He goes, yes, it's a kilt today. It's not a skirt because a skirt you're supposed to wear something else.
This was when you were telling me to wear tights under the kilt. I wasn't going to wear tights.
And multiple people let me know post game, Branton was absolutely wearing something underneath. Thank God, because we would have had to change the rating on YouTube and might have been banned.
We would have had to take the video down.
Yeah, we would have to. So thankfully, you are an indiscreet man, and I appreciate that. But you're a liar and a hypocrite, and I also have to just kind of point that out.
Well, this is the end of the Inter Miami show. We will not be recording again because I have never called you a liar or a hypocrite when you've done both. So
I don't lie. I am definitely a hypocrite. You can call me a hypocrite any day of the week. I accept that. I embrace that. In fact, my marriage is built on my hypocriticism.
Who's sitting out on Sunday? Back to the real questions. Sunday, I think you see Suarez sit. You see Busquets sit. Probably Alba. And I think probably start Messi.
I don't think Alba sits. Alba, the person having the most fun on this team right now is Alba. And he looks like he's got enough energy for like a 25-year-old kid. Like, I just think he plays. I think he'll be okay.
He's got the energy, but I also think like if Negri's close, maybe we don't see Negri at right back, but maybe Montreal would be a good time to like have him start, and then you can bring Alba in to finish the game off at left back.
I got Steve. I don't understand. What will be the number of the day after the Nashville game? I don't.
We play Thursday and we play Montreal Sunday.
Sunday at 5.
So it'd be Friday, Saturday. So 2 days rest, really.
Sean, I know Alba was yelling at the coach, but he's like passionate. He's enjoying it. Like you saw how much fun he was having. Like he's out here to play and to go for it. And I appreciate, like, I think we've said this in previous games. All these guys that everyone thought came here to retire, like came here to pull a Higuain, they're out here to win. Every single one of them. And I think at that level, winning is a good time. Playing your heart out, they're enjoying it. Like they love. I cannot stress enough how much these guys love walking off that field and seeing their families. They all do it. I was watching
the best
Alba.
is post game, watching Messi, Suarez, Busquets, and all three of their kids playing together, shooting goals on net with the supporters shouting every time they score. I love it.
Alba finished the game, walked over. His daughter had a little purse. He takes out of a purse. Like, this is 5 minutes of the game. Takes her purse out, put on chapstick or lipstick, whatever the girl is wearing. It was the most adorable family moment. Like, they are loving this. This is like an awesome opportunity for
Yeah.
them, and I just think they're really enjoying. Like,
What
there's
was
no.
cool is you didn't see this, but post game, so there was a lion being thrown around the supporter section, and at the end of the game, it ended up on top of the net in front of the north stand, and I want to say it was Busquets's kids got the lion down off the net, started stomping it and throwing it back into the supporter section. It
See,
was
they know,
awesome.
even the kids know this is a rivalry game. They understand.
It was awesome.
But no, I think they're enjoying it. I think they're having fun. Even yelling at the coach, like, he had a point to make. He made it. It's I don't know how many people watch NFL and freaked out when Travis Kelce yelled at Andy Reid. Dude, in the heat of the moment, you're gonna say things, you're gonna get it off your chest, and then you move on from it. And well, that's what I see these guys doing. Yeah,
Listen,
but anyway, going back, I
I
don't think
would be
Alba. I don't think
scared.
Alba.
I'd be scared shitless to yell at Andy Reid, man. I've seen enough of those Discovery documentaries. You know, with the walrus at the beach, they call him the Beach Master. That guy fucks people up, man.
Listen, I'm gonna say the opposite. I'd be scared shitless with Travis Kelce yelling at me, and Andy Reid just stood there and didn't have an emotional. He just sat there, and
You
Travis
know what I
Kelce
would
was.
do if Travis Kelce was yelling at me if I was Andy Reid? I'd just be like, just repeating back Taylor Swift songs. So I'd be like, yo, shake it off.
His friends probably all texted that to him.
Yeah, every
Travis,
time
what's
he's
going
like,
on, man? You got to shake that off.
yeah, you got to shake it off, man. You having a bad summer?
Cruel summer.
Cruel summer, whatever.
Man, if you got to quote it, you got to quote it right.
Whatever, man.
All right. Anyone else? Anyone got questions, man? I appreciate all of you jumping on, watching with us tonight. One way or another, like, this team, and we had a great game Sunday or Saturday, and we got a lot more good stuff in front of us. Like, this is going to be fun. I'm being positive. I'm
Unless we
flip-flopping.
lose 3-0, then Mike's ready to call it.
I didn't say whoa. I did not call 3-0. There's my boy. He showed up. We are going to change his name. I finally realized I need to change his name on YouTube so it doesn't show up as me every time. Okay, be clear. I did not call 3-0. I said it's a
Can
draw.
you change his name to the best Longan?
I'm trying to actually take my last name off of it and not his first name. So we've got a name planned. I wasn't letting me switch on YouTube a little bit ago, so I'm gonna change it later.
All right. It better be good. TJ deserves the best.
Oh, he is the best. I love that
Agreed.
kid. We'll have him on again. I told him he couldn't come on tonight because I knew we were going to go long.
Yeah.
Little love from Joe. All right. So
Yeah.
anything else, guys? Any more? Appreciate you guys. Everyone stayed late tonight. This was a little bit long conversation. Hey, just a reminder, please share it out there. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like on the shows. Share it with your friends. Stop by the tailgate. We've been handing out stickers. We've got the new flag behind us. We are flying the flag high at the tailgate now. Yeah, come by, stop by. Please tell your friends. We love doing this, but we love doing it for more people. The more people, the better. We just love the interactivity. And then find us both on Twitter. We've got our handles up. We'll take Joe's down. Oh, take the Orlando City recap down. We'll just remind everyone our handles. Both of us tweet a ton, both individually. We do tweet under Inter Miami Show as well.
I will say individually, if you're not prepared, Marlins spring training has begun. So there's a lot of Marlins, a lot of Klopp love on my account. So
yeah, I'm a little simpler. Prepared. Mostly just Inter Miami, though you might see some triathlon stuff actually coming back. I'm thinking about start training again, kind of debating getting into there. Brent, remind me to show you Giro's latest Aero helmet. We're going back to the 90s on triathlon tech all of a sudden.
I love them.
Yeah, there's a new one came out today. It looks awesome. So,
ooh.
Yeah. All right, everyone, I think that's going to wrap. Thank you all for joining us.
Yeah, thanks as always. And like, subscribe, share it out. And we will be back at you hopefully Saturday. to talk about a Nashville win or an Inter Miami win in Nashville and
Ooh,
viewing Montreal.
you pulled a me.